Greetings, and welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. This program is sponsored in its entirety by the Southwest TV Translator Association and supported by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network as seen on DCTV Channel 32.1.
The News at Noon program is the best news in the Four Corners area. We strive to save you hours searching the web for news pertinent to our area by bringing news to you in a rich variety for the Four Corners region.
With that said, I'm Kendra Cook, and my co-host is Jerry Tope. And now for April 4th, 2016, here's the news. From the Cortez Journal, the Ute Mountain Ute Tribe has been awarded $8 million in education grants to prepare teenagers and adults for technology and healthcare careers. A $2.5 million grant from the Sustainable Employment Economic Development Strategies, or SEEDS, will fund programs for technology and workplace skills. And a $5.5 million Health Professions Opportunity Grant will provide classes and training for students to become certified for jobs in medical fields. Both grants target unemployed and underemployed tribal members, including in the tribe's White Mesa, Utah community. The tribal member unemployment rate hovers around 40%. To help, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services awarded the grants to fund basic education and career training programs over a 5-year period through the Ute Mountain Learning Center based in Toyac. The grants pay for 9 teachers and caseworkers, textbooks, computers, distance learning equipment, and college courses that are broadcast to a centralized computer classroom. Tuition is free, and the goal is to serve 300 students a year. The Learning Center is partnering with San Juan College, Utah State University, and Southwest Colorado Community College to provide a variety of courses and career training. The program has 2 levels. One component focuses on basic education, including literacy, life skills, workplace behavior, study habits, and high school equivalency diplomas. The other level is training for the professional fields, especially in health and technology careers that pay more than minimum wage. The tribe is encouraging students to go for health careers requiring 1 to 2 years of training. Starting pay in the jobs is about $11 an hour. The grant funding will also fund paid internships for qualified students at area hospitals. For more information on programs, call the Ute Mountain Learning Center at 970-564-5471.
According to the Cortez Journal, 5 4th graders from Kemper Elementary will travel to Washington, D.C., or have already, to help plant the White House kitchen garden with the First Lady, Michelle Obama. Outgoing school-to-farm director Sarah Syverson said students Miles Frost, Gail Garcia, Christian Rabaza, and Cecilia Tom and Trinity Tillahash will spend about 2 hours tomorrow, Tuesday, helping plant the garden. The diverse group of students includes kids from various cultural backgrounds, and it was important to represent Montezuma County's native and cultural heritage when the group was chosen. Montezuma County has a deep cultural connection to its agricultural heritage, but the people in the region still struggle to maintain their health, Syverson said. The School to Farm project seeks to bridge that gap by teaching kids about the source of their food and that healthy gardening techniques yield healthy food. They'll also get to help NASA astronaut Katie Coleman and the First Lady plant the same variety of lettuce that has been grown on the International Space Station. The event will be rebroadcast or broadcast on a live stream from the White House starting tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time on www.whitehouse.gov/live. 4 other schools from Wisconsin, Louisiana, Georgia, New Jersey were given the opportunity to send students to help plan the garden. The U.S. Department of Agricultural Regional Director identified Montezuma School to Farm project to the White House officials right away as a program that stood out in a multi-state region. According to a press release, Obama started planting a garden around the south lawn of the White House in 2009 to start a conversation about the health and well-being of the nation. That conversation evolved into Let's Move initiative, which Obama created in 2010 to address American childhood obesity.
According to the Cortez Journal, reported from Denver, Colorado Attorney General Cynthia Kaufman is preparing defensive and offensive strategies to legal disputes in the wake of the Gold King mine spill. The downstream states of New Mexico and Utah have put Colorado and the EPA on notice that a lawsuit could come. The impetus is a toxic spill in which an estimated 3 million gallons of mining sludge poured into the Animas River on August 5, 2015, flowing into the San Juan River in New Mexico and Utah. The Animas River tested for initial spikes in heavy metals, including arsenic, lead, copper and aluminum. While the EPA has acknowledged fault in the incident, Colorado could bear responsibility as the spill north of Silverton occurred within the state's boundaries. Some observers wonder why Kaufman hasn't sued the EPA, which admits that excavation during restoration work led to the blowout. Also, there are accounts that the agency knew a blowout was possible. Kaufman says she is not shy about suing federal agencies, having joined the state in 3 lawsuits, including most recently over implementation of EPA carbon standards known as the Clean Power Plan. A litany of questions remain unanswered, including the state's role in the blowout. Conflicting reports have cast shadows over the conversation, and a fact-finding mission by Congress has at times become controversial, resulting in the House Committee on Natural Resources issuing subpoenas to federal officials. An internal investigation by the EPA, released on August 24th, determined that the Colorado Division of Reclamation, Mining, and Safety agreed to put drainage piping through the entrance of the mine, contributing to the spill. But former Colorado Department of Natural Resources Director Mike King wrote in response, DRMS did not have any authority to manage, assess, or approve any work at the Gold King mine. Operations at Gold King were entirely under EPA management, using EPA contractors on an EPA response action. Hanging over the process is a potential Superfund listing, which would inject large amounts of cash into permanent restoration efforts at as many as 50 mining-related sites in the Gladstone area that have contaminated the Upper Animas River, Mineral Creek, and Cement Creek for more than a century. A Superfund listing itself could result in a lawsuit from environmental groups who may fear that restoration efforts don't go far enough. Kaufman said after receiving the 2 notice of intent to sue letters from New Mexico and Utah, her office assembled a 10-person Gold King mine team, including environmental attorneys and governmental immunity and civil litigation experts. Democratic Governor John Hickenlooper is optimistic that he can reach resolution with the 2 states out of court. But he said, if they sue us, I think that unifying effort will be diminished.
The Durango Herald reported the Southwestern Water Conservancy District has filed a legal challenge in water court against a new minimum flow requirement for the lower Dolores River established by the state last year. In September, the Colorado Water Conservation Board agreed to establish minimum in-stream flows up to 900 cubic feet per second in spring on the Dolores River between the confluence of the San Miguel River and Gateway. The new flow standards on the 34-mile stretch are intended to help river health, including 3 species of native fish, the flannelmouth sucker, bluehead sucker, and round-tailed chub. Local water boards objected to the new standard, arguing that the flows were too high and they could not be met in drought conditions. In addition, there was fear that water stored in the upstream McPhee Reservoir could be used to meet the standard, but the Conservation Board denied their appeal, and the minimum flow plan for the lower Dolores River was approved. In December, the Conservation District responded to by filing a lawsuit in Colorado's Division 4 Water Court in Montrose to try and overturn or modify the flow allocation. The district's lawsuit claims that the Colorado Conservation Board's action on the lower Dolores River exceeds the in-stream flow's statutory standard of minimum stream flows to preserve the natural environment, and it does not protect present uses of the water. It further states that the new in-stream flow is inconsistent with CWCB's statutory responsibility to develop water for beneficial and future use for state residents, and that the new standard is inconsistent with CWCB's appropriation of an in-stream flow regime on the San Miguel River. In defending the new Dolores River in-stream flows, CWCB was joined in the lawsuit by Western Resource Advocates, Conservation Colorado, and San Juan Citizens Alliance. In-stream flows are appropriated by the CWCB in rivers and lakes to preserve Colorado's natural environment. They are also seen as a way to retain state control over local waterways. The new in-stream flows for the lower Dolores River begin below San Miguel confluence.
According to the Cortez Journal, a bill that makes it clear that household rain barrels are legal in Colorado is on the way to the governor's desk to be signed into law. The measure, which allows up to 2 rain barrels with a combined capacity of 110 gallons per household, is set to take effect on August 10th. Governor John Hickenlooper told reporters this week that he supported the bill. A similar bill died on the Senate calendar last year after passing out of the House. This year, Democrats made compromises that Republicans wanted, acknowledging state water law and giving the state engineer's office regulatory authority Authority. House Bill 1005 passed the state Senate 27-6 on Friday after getting out of the State House on February 29th. The compromises were supported by former opponents, such as the Colorado Farm Bureau, who were concerned about the impact on downstream users who hold expensive water rights. Conservation groups hope the legislation encourages Coloradans to capture and use runoff from their rooftops on their lawns and gardens to help people recognize that water is a precious resource in this arid state compared to the amount they would have used from their garden hoses otherwise. Technically, there is no specific law in Colorado that bans rain barrels. State law requires a water right to store any amount of water for any amount of time, which might seem to prohibit rain barrels. Anyone who brought a case, however, would have to prove the amount of water they were entitled to was diminished by rain barrels. A deputy state water engineer told a Senate committee last week that that amount would be hard to measure. Rain barrels put relatively the same water back into the ground in a garden or lawn as water from a downspout. Speaking of rain, let's take a look at the weather, Jerry.
Our current high-pressure ridge is warm and dry and breezy, but there's a fast-moving disturbance on its way that will push a little moisture ahead of it and bring showers to the northern mountains and valleys and central mountains tonight and into Tuesday. Those areas may get 1 to 4 inches in the northernmost parts of Colorado mountains. For the Dove Creek area, we'll only see a slight flicker of a chance tomorrow afternoon with winds plus of 25 miles per hour, and are only likely to see clouds if we get any moisture at all due to low humidity. It'll put just a few drops of moist dust on the windshield is the expectation. By Tuesday, late evening, all the effects of this quick mover except for the winds in front of and behind it will be gone, and then above normal temps for the rest of the dry week until late Friday, when a better push of moisture arrives and stays through into Monday of next week. A low-pressure system moving across the northern mid-Atlantic region today is producing rain for portions of the mid-Atlantic with snow for parts of the Northeast. Snowfall accumulations of 2 to 6 inches are possible across southern New England. The system will move offshore tonight, ending the rain and snow along the east coast. Rain and snow are expected from the Pacific Northwest to the northern Intermountain West today and tonight as the cold front passes through the region. Warm conditions will allow rain initially ahead of the cold front across the Intermountain West, and a few thunderstorms are even possible in the far southern edges of the system. As the cold front passes, snow altitudes will lower by late this afternoon, and rain will gradually change to snow for the northernmost locations by tonight. This system will move into the central and northern plains tonight, with the precipitation reaching the upper Midwest by tomorrow morning. Wintry precipitation will fall tomorrow from portions of the upper Midwest to the upper Great Lakes, including snow, as well as some areas of sleet and freezing rain. Further south, showers and thunderstorms are forecast for tomorrow from the Central Plains to portions of the upper middle and upper Mississippi Valley. Models show a closed or isolated low-pressure system off the southwest coast that is expected to pull moisture into our region beginning Friday. However, the forces that determine the exact direction and speed of the system are confused, and this part of the forecast should be more definite by Wednesday, we hope. Today, a high near 64, south-southeast winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 25 miles per hour. Tonight's low in the upper 30s with a south wind of 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high hoping to be the mid-60s, breezy with a west-northwest wind of 5 to 10, increasing to 15 to 20 miles per hour in the afternoon. Wind gusts could be easily as high as 35 miles per hour. Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low in the upper 20s, blustery with a northwest wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour winds, could gust as high as 35 miles per hour, becoming west 5 to 10 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny, high, mild in the 60s, north-northeast wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour, becoming east in the afternoon. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low 30s. Thursday, sunny with a high near 70, and Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 39. Friday, partly sunny with mid-60s high, and Friday night, a chance of showers mainly after midnight, mostly cloudy and in the upper 30s. Saturday, a chance of rain and snow showers, mostly cloudy, a low 60s for a high. And Saturday night, the chance of showers, mostly cloudy and a mid-30s low. And our CO2 report for last week, March 27th to April the 2nd. Last week, 405.41 parts per million. The week before last, 405.62 parts per million. 1 year ago, 402.43 parts per million. 10 years ago, 382.42 parts per million. And now back to the news.
The Durango Herald reported that Crow Canyon Archaeological Center has received the equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Award for its educational programs. The Special Achievement Award was given for the center's 32 years of educational achievement and outstanding public engagement by the Professional Register of Archaeologists, which works to achieve universal standards and maintain high professional conduct in the field. Crow Canyon provides archaeological education to students and adults from across the country, as well as conducting significant research into the ancestral Pueblans. In recent years, the center's work has been featured on the PBS programs Time Team America with the Lost Pueblo Village episode and the Colorado Experience Living West Water. The center's archaeologists also have been featured speakers at the Field Museum in Chicago and the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. Among the groups coming in this year will be fourth graders from Durango School District 9R. They will stay in the new student cabins, which are replacing dormitories in the lodge. The upcoming dig season includes projects, all 3 new Basket Maker 3 sites dating circa AD 500 to 750. For more details on the center, visit online crowcanyon.org.
The Cortez Journal reported Cortez Parks and Recreation staffers are seeking public input as they update the city parks master plan. The plan hasn't been revised since 2007, according to Parks and Recreation Director Dean Palmquist. The department is inviting citizens to attend one of 2 public meeting sessions at 5:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. April 6th at Cortez Recreation Center meeting rooms. People will be asked to highlight certain parks projects they would like to see prioritized in the master plan. Possible projects the department might pursue in the master plan are as follows: remodeling restrooms at Centennial Park, remodeling or removing several tennis courts at Centennial Park and replacing them with pickleball courts, enhancing trails at Gear Natural Area, installing an elevated bridge trail around the lake, installing restrooms and a concessions area at Rotary Park near the BMX track, and a Little League baseball fields, adding new elements to the skate park, expanding city trails system and connecting various trails, increasing Parque de Vida lighting to improve night safety, renovating the stage at the city park and installing a weather shelter above the stage, replacing playground equipment at the city park, adding new lighting at the Cortez softball complex, starting an orchard south of Parque de Vida and east of the swimming pool, and converting some of the land surrounding the old MCHS building on 7th Street into a park. After next week's meetings, the department will determine what the top priorities are for the parks. The department staff will recommend projects to the City Council, and the Council will consider those projects in the budget hearings next year.
Here's a story from fellowshipofthemines.com. Located in Denver, Colorado, a business that calls itself Vision Box Crisis Actors provides professionals, trained players and actors, who impersonate real-life people in simulations of mass casualty events, such as government drills, shootings, and bombings, to help schools and first responders create realistic drills, full-scale exercises, high-fidelity simulations, and interactive 3D films. As an October 31st, 2012 feature story on the Crisis Actors website once boasted, a new group of actors is now available nationwide for active shooter drills and mall shooting full-scale exercises, announced Vision Box, Denver's leading professional actors studio. Vision Box Crisis Actors are trained in criminal and victim behavior and bring intense realism to simulated mass casualty incidents in public places. Actors can also play the role of citizens calling 911 or mall management or posting comments on social media websites. To add to the insanity, there are even amputee crisis actors, such as those from a business called Amputees in Action, which provides trained professional amputee actors who promise to remain in character for the film and screen industries and for emergency and military services training simulations. With special effects makeup, moulage, and prosthetic artists use cutting-edge technology to enhance and extend the appearance and function of limb loss scenarios. This report says you can now add fake political protests and protesters to the things that crisis actors do. Jamie Tate, reports for Vice August 6, 2013, that Crowds on Demand is a company that will organize a crowd for you on demand. The crowd can be fake fans for some celebrity or aspiring celebrity, or fake protesters for a cause. Since the company's fake fan events are super secret, Tate attended instead a fake protest called Purge Day USA, which the company organized in Los Angeles in coordination with a charity to raise awareness about mental health issues. A more recent example of fake protesters is an ad on Craigslist soliciting actors to impersonate protesters at Trump rallies. As reported by Zero Hedge on March 30, 2016, the ad was placed by I'm Feelin' the Burn Bernie Sanders supporters who promised to provide shuttle buses, parking, and protest signs, as well as $15 an hour to the actors. False flag operations have long been common in politics, but these riots are poisonous to the electorate, intentionally designed to turn violent and stifle free speech. For more research on the subject and who may be behind such activities, the article suggests to visit moveon.org and check out MediaMatters.org.
And now the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of March 28th to April 3rd. A report of a vehicle temporary tags being stolen is under investigation. They investigated a report of a suspicious subject at a local business and received a report of harassment by a local resident. They investigated a report of trespassing at a local business and assisted Montezuma County on a report of child abuse. An officer responded to a request from a resident for a welfare check on a juvenile. A town business reported a gas skip. And that's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned this week for more updates.
And in today's High Country happenings, the Chronic Disease Self-Management Program begins Wednesday, April 6th at the Dove Creek Methodist Church from 5:30 to 8 p.m. and will meet weekly for 6 weeks. This is established to help you take care of your health condition, keep informed about your health status, carry out normal activities, and exercise safely, and manage emotional changes. For more details, call Audrey at 562-4626. Wednesday, April 6th, the Amazing Authors Tour continues with Lucy Tapahanso, author of Saani Dahahatal, perhaps that's how it's pronounced, will be presented at 6 p.m. at the Cortez Public Library. Thursday through Saturday, April 7th through 9th, For Pets' Sake, Humane Society's Spring Yard Sale fundraiser will be from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Cortez Plaza Shopping Center. Donations accepted at the building Wednesday, April 6th, noon to 6 p.m., and Wednesday, April 13th, 2 to 5 p.m. Call for early donation times and large item pickups, 970-565-PETS or 7387. And the 9 Health Fair was a great success this past weekend here in Dove Creek. Lots of wonderful volunteers and participants. And don't forget, it will be held again in Mancos on Saturday, April 16th. You can go online to register or find out more details at www.9healthfair.org. And a reminder that all of the High Country happenings details are posted to our Facebook page. We'd love to share information about what's happening to support the regional groups, individuals, and communities, so please let us know your event by sending an email to dcbnnews@gmail.com or post to our Facebook page or call the studio at 677-4119.
Again, thanks for tuning in and also using our online resources. This show is aired live at noon, Mondays through Wednesdays, and rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m.
And you can also rewatch us on YouTube and search for DCTV News at Noon channel. For Jerry Tope and all those working to bring you DCTV and the News at Noon program from Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kendra Cook. Goodbye for now.